All right, so we're going to be taking out the top rack. Now, the reason for that, I already took the right side out. Let me show you how to do this side. And if your dishwasher is secured to the cabinet on the side, it is a lot easier to remove this rack. It saves you from having to fight and get the screw out. All right, so this is how you do it. Pretty straightforward. You might need a pick or something if you can't get it with your finger. And once you have removed that cap, then you will have to reach inside and push 2 tabs, and you can fully extract the top rack from the dishwasher. All right, so now we're inside the dishwasher, and there are going to be 2 tabs that you got to push one down and one up, and you can pull the rack, and that will release the other section of the rack to allow the entire rack to come out. So once you've gotten that, you might have to double push or pull to make sure it's fully coming out. It might take a little effort, but that's how you would get it out. All right, as you can see, it had to go back in one last time to push it up, but we still get it out. All right. All right, so before you remove the door, we're releasing the springs. Just be gentle, otherwise you will have the springs release in the back. You want to keep them attached, so it makes installing the tension cord a lot easier. So pretty much ready to take the door off. All right, so before we can separate the 2 parts of the door, we have to remove 4 screws. In fact, 4 screws on the side, T20s, and then 2 1/4-inch screws. That's a machine screw. You see the threads are fine. And then you're going to have 2 of those and then 2 of the other ones. And then you'd be ready to release the 2 parts on the door. All right, so you're going to be removing the user board. You're going to have a few screws to remove. Pay attention to where you remove the longest screws. The long ones are the 2 that are in the center. And then you're going to have, I think, 2 on the outside. So pay attention to where they come out of, so it makes installing back a lot easier. All right, once you've got the screws out, you're going to be using either a flat blade screwdriver, something very thin, and slowly pry the user board holder out. And once you get it out, you're going to be removing the actual board itself. Guys, you got to be careful. Now you see that critter? He's probably the one, or his brother or his sister, who knows. He's dead, but they can definitely take out your user. So they can cause corrosion, they can cause shorting. So be mindful of that. If your home happen to have, get rid of them, because they can definitely destroy your appliances, especially the electronic component, the board and whatnot. All right. This home was not dirty. I did not see any live roaches. If I do see any, I don't take my tools in. So, but just info, they will kill your boards. All right, so this portion is setting the personality ID. So your dishwasher will require you to check the model number. There'll be a series of numbers on the left side, and those will correspond with a number on the board itself, and that will give you your personality ID. So match up your number as you see here, and then you'll have to set, that's your personality ID. You may or may not have to, depending on your model of dishwasher. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, if you just put the board in without setting it, your dishwasher will not operate. All right. So just to recap, your model number on your dishwasher, which is located on the, I think the left side or right side for GE. And this paperwork will be in with your board, and it will show you the sequence of which you should pull or insert or move. All right, so just go over it. Pretty straightforward. And on this one, we had to move it to the rear or just to the back slightly. As you see, it lifts up. And instead of actually covering the entire 2-pin setup, it was only covering one after I released or lifted and reinstall it, leaving one pin exposed. As you can see, push it back down, and that's it. It's ready to go. All right, let's get it in. All right, so here's one important step. Before you actually put this thing back together, go ahead and plug the user board in. Make sure that it powers up and you can actually select a cycle, or at least know that all your inputs are working. So that will save you a lot of time in the event that you didn't do it correctly or there's a problem with the board itself. Make sure that the gasket is pushed against the back, and also make sure you tighten that well. Otherwise, you will have water dripping down the inside of the door and leaking on the floor. So make sure you snug that up well. Don't go crazy, but it should be tight. I do apologize for this section, and I thought I was recording, but I totally wasn't. So the installation portion, I totally apologize for. But be careful when you put it back together that you don't damage the top of the bracket. Otherwise, it will damage and cause it to chip or break. So be mindful of that. So mad, I thought I was recording. I'm putting back the door, and then noticed the phone turned off. That's so mad. Alright, so we're at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Now, if your rack on your dishwasher, if when you open it and you notice the rack is falling out or does not want to stay level, then you want to make sure your dishwasher is fully leveled. If not, then you need to raise or lower the legs. Pretty straightforward, but keep that in mind. And also make sure that you have it anchored properly so that it doesn't move when you open it. Also, guys, if you notice when you open and close your dishwasher door, if it's not closing evenly, then you want to raise either the left or the right leg to make sure that it is evenly closing. Thanks for watching.